Welcome to Dartshopper Media How To with me, Mark Kerr, where today we're going to be looking at the Scolia Home system. This revolutionary system stands for scoring, lighting and analysis, which the system provides for you all in one go. So let's have a look at what's in the box, how to put it together, how to install it, and I'll then show you how to navigate the user interface to get the most from your system. Let's go. Now this box contains the Spark surround and light, which is in the newer models. In the older models you'll have the Bull's Termote, though the Spark is much better in my opinion as it has specifically designed slots for the cameras, which makes alignment much easier than before. So, on the left side we have the three cameras marked A, B and C. On the right side we have a LAN patch cord, otherwise known as Ethernet cable, power cable, lighting cable, 3 surround connectors and the required screws and miscellaneous bits. And finally they've thrown in some Scolia flights and some Scolia stickers. Oh, and of course, the all-important instruction manual. Now you must not discard that and I'll explain why later. Now step 1 is to attach the cameras to the corresponding letters. Now my expert tip would be to check that the camera cable length first matches where it should be, as one is shorter than the others, and that needs to be for the camera closest to the bottom, so it will connect to the processing unit. So you connect camera A to the letter A on the surround and so forth for the 3 cameras. There are 3 screws per arm for greater security to the surround. The Spark has an updated cable management from the Termote model. It allows you to run the cables in these sections that are cut out from the rear of the surround for a nice, clean and crisp finished look. But before you start, expert tip number 2. Ensure that you have the cameras facing in a bit to give you a little bit of slack. If you have this at the top end where the cameras are, you can move them easily up and down and adjust. If you pull the wire too tightly, you won't be able to move the cameras and will have to take the wiring out of the trenches to give you the slack you need. Now the underside here is where the processing unit is, which is the heart of the system, so make sure not to drop it or to be too rough with it. It's also been updated from the earlier models to a quieter fan system, so that's a great update. As this is the heart of the unit, you'll need the cables to enter here, like so. They are all USB connected, so you can use any of the slots. The Ethernet will connect to the internet and the other lead is for the power to your unit, but it also powers the lights. Now once you've connected the Ethernet, be sure to connect it to your router or another Ethernet port. It's worth mentioning here that there is a separate dongle that you can get to connect via Wi-Fi if you're unable to connect via the Ethernet to a main line. Scolia recommend one called Vonets Mini Wi-Fi Router or Adapter, though it's recommended to use Ethernet for fast, reliable and a consistent experience. Now you can buy other adapters for this purpose should you wish. Now that we have the system together, we need a way to secure it. The plastic clips slot in and are easy to hook over your existing surround. Now please note at this stage that the board and surround are not included. Now this fits a standard size surround. There is an option to secure your system even further by using screws in these holes, should you wish, and if your partner, parents or landlord don't mind. Always check first. These obviously screw in to the wall. Now you're ready to go. Click the light button and voila! We have a nicely lit board with a great looking setup. Now is where you need to create your account. Now the instruction manual will give you the website to head to, and once you've added your details, you get an email to activate your registration. You can also use some social media details for easy login. You then come to this home screen. Now the first thing you need to do before we go through the rest is that you need to register your board using the serial code provided in your documentation. Remember when I said not to throw away the instruction manual? Well, this is why. The serial number is written in here, and you need it for you to register the board. You can personalize the name of your board here, which makes it easier to find if you have multiple boards. In this case, you click if it's a public board or leave it as it is if it's a private board. Now that takes us into the system and the user interface, otherwise known as UI. Here you will first want to calibrate your board, so ignore the rest of the options and click My Boards. Now you need to align the cameras for accuracy. The best way to do this is to click the Show Board ellipsis and stream the cameras. This will give you a live feed for each camera shown in 3 separate boxes. You can move your camera by hand according to the coverage on the board for each one. Now once they're aligned, tighten the screws at the hinges to secure your camera in place. Now you can click Calibrate and the system will do the necessary diagnostics to calibrate the software with the position and the coverage of the cameras. Simply put, it'll be set up accurately for you to be ready to throw on. But before you throw, let's look at the rest of the home screen. Local Game will take you into the various options of games available to play against people on your board and set up your session how you wish. Online Game will allow you to play against players online anywhere in the world with a Scolia system. There's an updated tournament section also, which allows you to win points for bragging rights against your friends and the community and to test your abilities. Friends is also a new feature, allowing you to connect with other players as part of the growing Scolia community. Statistics will give you an overall impression of your game, progress, strengths and weaknesses collated from your games. History will show you all the games played on the board and the statistics for each game. This is fantastic for analysis and to see your progression. You have My Board, which will allow you to connect to your chosen board and calibrate it accordingly. If you have multiple boards, you can select which you wish to connect to from here. So let's get into the first option, Local Game, in a bit more detail. This allows you to decide which board you connect to, and it also saves your board. If you have a sports bar or multiple Scolias, here is where you can select which you wish to connect to. Once you click on the board, it will show it's successfully connected. Your details appear at the top, and you can leave if you've made a mistake. Now the first section is game type. You can see O1 games, around the clock, cricket, Shanghai, you name it. Now once you've selected your game, configure it. So for an O1 game, you can choose starting points, presets, or a custom value. You can choose race to or best of and change the sets and legs that you want. There's single out, double out, master out and double in. All the options are here, and this is where you decide who you're playing against. You can add players and change names or add a bot, which is what we'll do now. You can throw for bull, and it has WDF and PDC options. Finally, you can click Save New Presets to make it quicker for you each time you start a new game with these preferences. Now we click Start Game. Now if you choose a bot, you can choose the bot's ability, and it creates a more realistic playing scenario with a bit more competition to push you to beat the opponent. Now this is the main screen. It will show you the players' names, your score as it goes down, your individual 3 darts come up here, you'll also see your average, first 9 average and checkouts. Then you have the same for your opponent, and finally you can see the board as the darts are thrown, so you can see each dart that registers. You can see that the darts landed exactly where the board shows they did. If they didn't, you can pause your game and click up here to recalibrate your board. It will take you back and you can join the board once you've recalibrated. You can also in the settings add voice and sound, which includes scores being called and checkouts. You can change the volume to your preference and also add if you want the checkout suggestions, quick statistics, and coordinates of your darts as they enter. Also, there's a dark mode at the bottom. When you're happy, click Continue Game. When you retrieve your darts, the opponent can throw, and you get to see the score show up as you play, making it really effortless and an exciting experience. If you make a mistake, you can click on any of the individual scores and manually change them here. You can also connect your screen to monitors and projectors and all sorts depending on your preferred setup or requirements. I'll skim through this quick game against the bot. At the end of the game, I can check my overall stats in the game and each leg if we wish to see how we played in each one. The stats show your average, first 9 average, checkout percentage and rate, highest finish, etc, etc. You can also see on the graph your route down to the finish. Then, this is the really cool bit. You can choose between the heat map and coordinates of each individual dart thrown. This can help you see if you're struggling with weighting your darts to the trebles, or perhaps maybe you're spraying to the sides a bit too much, as was the case in this game. Now you can choose to play a new game or leave the board and head back to the main menu. Let's have a look at online. Now with online you get to the lobby screen here and it shows the status of active players, waiting players and in-game players. You can manually scroll through the lobby and also sort by name, average or med, which means average distance from target. You can select awaiting a specific player, yes or no, or draw a random opponent, or select the opponent you wish to play and invite them to the game. There's a chat box on the right for you to meet the community and discuss games. You can leave the lobby at the top right. History is a great way for you to look back over those matches and see what was going well and what can be improved on. It can also give you insight into your pace or how you play against fast or slow players. It's quite a detailed tool. The statistics section will show your overall stats for each game type and give you an idea of how you perform overall. Now this is broken into games, throws, 3-dart average, first 9 average and checkout rate. You can choose the time period and also move the sliders to choose the parameters for more detail on your progression in a specific time period. You can see your games won, lost and aborted, and my favourite is the recent form, which is new. This can also have parameters set and help you see in more detail how you've been playing lately compared to an overall, whereby you may have improved leaps and bounds. There are many more stats you can look through to really fine-tune your analysis of your game and work out your progress and areas you need to improve on. Now tournaments is also new and is sorted into upcoming, ongoing and finished. You can also hide full and hide non-relevant. Now this may look a bit daunting, but simply put, look at the large text. It says average range. So for example, 40 to 50 average, 50 to 60, above 60, etc, etc. Or it may have other parameters. Just click it and join the tournament when the registration starts. If it's outside of your ability, it will not allow you to join. You can review the tournament info and participants before you apply. In these tournaments you can win points for bragging rights as indicated on the right here. Friends is a new feature. You can select your friends and add them to chat to and play against. Just use the search feature on the right hand side. It also shows recently played against, so you can add new friends you enjoy playing against from the lobby. There's also a section here you can select called Go Darts Pro, which works in conjunction with Scolia, providing you with further training aids to help you focus and make those micro improvements to your game to get that competitive advantage over your opponents. It has a virtual coach within it that helps identify your weaknesses and provide you with 3 daily tasks to steer you in the right direction towards improving your game. There is also a Facebook community join link that takes you to the Facebook group where you can discuss all things Scolia and contribute to the improvement of the system and build the community. Now a bit of advice. Once you know what settings you like in your games, if you click on the profile settings, you can amend some settings to have it how you like each time. For example, I like the sound on as default to call my scores and the checkouts. I can switch these on as default here. So there we have it, how to install, how to use the user interface, and now all that's left is to have fun, improve your game, and make some friends along the way. Thanks for watching the video. Click that subscribe button so I can make more how-to content on the latest and greatest technology and innovations in the world of darts. If you have a Scolia already or are thinking of buying one, let me know in the comments below. I love to read your feedback and thoughts. Thanks again, and have a good one. Thanks for watching until the end, and if you did, you're in luck, because we've got a huge giveaway. This exact system that I've reviewed is going to go out to one lucky subscriber, so watch this space, because we've got the giveaway coming up very soon.